Hello, this is Alan Jacobson with FirstLook. Today I'm going to talk about the Medic Search Kit Long Range, MRK LR. This kit is near and dear to my heart. First, I'll give you a shout out to Joe Hernandez with Disaster Medical who helped put this kit together during a SUSAR event way back at Wichita, Kansas, many years ago. So this kit is based from input from Joe, who's very connected to the medical response community in disaster situations, in tight spaces, in really awful conditions. So that's his specialty, and he wanted a camera kit that would suit himself and his medic teams all around the globe, actually. So anyway, this is the medic rescue kit. I also like this kit for placement on heavy rescue rigs around the United States and Canada, potentially the world, really. Anywhere where you have airbags, cutting tools, support structured like the Paratech, something like that. You should have this camera kit on there. It's small. It fits into a little backpack. Grab it right here. You can put it into a hard case. The Storm IM 2400 is a perfect fit, but this is the pack that it comes in. So everything that I'm about to talk to you fits inside this here 511 pack. All right. So let's get started. So this is the Medic Rescue Kit or the Heavy Rescue Kit. So if you ever want to talk about that, you can all reach out to me and I'll then gladly describe all the different applications you can use this kit in a heavy rescue scenario. So let me go down here and I'll just show you sort of the kit contents here. I already talked about the bag itself. It's quite a nice bag. 511 makes good stuff. So we're really happy with that. So the heart of the system, of course, is the camera itself. This is the FL360 long-range camera. It is basically two 180-degree or fisheye lenses on here, so there's no moving parts, no articulating parts on here. Those two streams of video are taken from the camera wirelessly back to a tablet and then put together on the screen where you can then just use your finger. Now, I don't actually describe how to use the camera or the software in this particular video. I'm just going through the accessories of this kit. If you want to watch that video, go to our YouTube channel and you'll find it there. All right, so the camera itself, one of the reasons why this works so well in a medical situation, especially in like a confined void space or something like that, or let's go back to the heavy rescue vehicle accident, by far one of the biggest responses for that vehicle of that nature, is you need to be able to get in and see if the patient is still bleeding somewhere, right? So you look inside the car window, they look fine. You get the camera down into their feet and you want to see if there's any kind of bleed. That'll determine how fast you need to get them out of that crashed vehicle. So with no articulating camera head to get in the way, all you have to do is get one of these lenses into that tight little space and you'll be able to see on screen what's going on. It's also handy. You can leave it in place when you start tearing the car apart. So now you can, as you're ripping the car apart from the exterior of the vehicle, you have a camera inside to tell you what's going on closest to the victim, all right, or the patient, however you want to describe that. So this is the camera. We're really proud of it. It's excellent. It's waterproof up to 10 feet. No more. Don't give it to your dive team ever. And for that purpose, because wireless doesn't work underwater, we include a 10-foot cord with the camera as well. Or if you're experiencing interference for the Wi-Fi, which is basically 60 feet line of sight. Let me just grab this tablet here. So between camera and tablet, it's 60 feet line of sight. So if you're having some issues with some interference, you can use the 10-foot cord for that as well. I go through a lot of the software thing too. You also need the cord if you're going to change the password for the Wi-Fi camera. You need to use the cord to do that. And there's a little video clip that I go through on there as well. So that's the camera. It's powered by lithium-ion batteries, the 18650 batteries. These are excellent batteries. It'll give you about a 3-hour life with the camera on average, depending on temperature and the use of the lights and things of that nature. But they're an excellent bulletproof battery. 3,000 cycle, you can charge them every day for 8 years. I mean, it'll last definitely for a very long time. If you ever have issues with the batteries, chances are it's actually the charger. Now, speaking of the charger, we've gotten away, and a lot of people will be happy. We've gone to a USB-C charger. This charger will recover batteries that go to 0%. So this is a good little charger for that. If you ever got a battery that goes to 0, this will recover it. But the USB-C allows us to use little adapters like that, right? So everybody's got drawerfuls of these things. Plus, most vehicles all have now USB ports in them, so you can use that to charge up the batteries between cycles, right? So we include 4 batteries with the MRK LR in this handy little pouch, right? This little plastic pouch. So you got all the positives down here, protecting the circuit from doing protecting the batteries from doing a circuit in your pocket with keys or coins or something like that, so you don't get runaway lithium. And if you discharge a set of batteries, you can put them in upside down inside this little case, and then now you can tell when you get back to the station which batteries need to be charged, right? So it's kind of a handy little device. We ship it. It also allows us to ship it easier because the lithium ion is packed nicely away inside of the pouch bag. Now, just in case you do want to put that camera into water, we include it with this environmental lid, which has no holes in it. But most times you're going to use this speaker mic lid, which gives you a two-way communication with an individual inside the other side of the pole, basically, of the camera. So the microphone is extremely sensitive. The speaker, not super loud. It's about the size of a quarter. Anyway, but it does allow you to give you that two-way communication. So that's the camera and the lids. Of course, you need something on there. This is the basically the 4mm tool that we use. Let me just go full screen here on there to use to pop open that case. Let's see here now. Along with the batteries on the MRK LR, we also include little adapters that allow you to use CR123A batteries. Those are the disposable kind. A lot of people have those in the trucks for their lights and flashlights and of nature. Funny enough, when we rebuilt the camera to the long-range version, it's susceptible to 4 batteries full power. There's too much voltage, so the camera actually won't start. So we include a dummy battery in here, so you can use 3 CR123As to power the camera, and then you've got a dummy camera battery. If you ever lose this, you can just use the worn-out CR123A. All you need is not the full power of 4 disposable CR123As, or the camera will not start. So we still include these. I don't know how often they're used, but just in case. So we do include those as well. All right, so in order to fit into the pack that I showed you, we've got a short little stubby pole that is included with the kit. It's certainly long enough to get into most spaces. It's basically 5 feet. It collapses down to really small inside the pack. It's got a little wrist strap on here. Generally, I tend to remove this and just put it into one of the pouches. It's very uncommon to use the little wrist strap. But the nice thing about this is we also include a tripod with the MRK. And the reason for that is a lot of times if you're on a scene or something like that, in a medical situation, there's a lot of monitoring, as you're trying to get somebody out of a void space. So take this scenario, you've got a USAR kit, your search team has located a victim using our bigger kit. They've now identified it, they've called ahead and said, we've got a live one, we need help to get that person out. We're moving on and looking for additional victims. So you show up as the team to retrieve that person. You have your own camera. You have the MRK. So with that, then you want to be able to monitor. So you might be able to actually, lower the camera inside to the space and have it on a tripod, and then you can monitor a scene. So there's lots of kind of neat ways that the tripod can be used. It also can be on the front of the pole, so you can actually hook it on the side of a fence and you can monitor a field or something like that, or a whole bunch of people who are in distress, that kind of thing. So lots of little, so it's a cool little accessory we include with the MRK. The other things we include for the rear of the camera, I'm going to set that over here, is a paint pole adapter. This allows you to, because the pole is only 5 feet, you can go to Home Depot and get yourself a nice big long paint pole. This screws into the paint pole on this side, and this screws into the back of the camera. So this extends the reach. You can get some paint poles up to like 20 feet. So you can get up into second, third story windows. It's really handy if you're just going from house to house after a flood and you're checking out all the attic spaces for people who have gone up there, and then maybe they're dehydrated, they're passed out, they don't realize you're there, they're not calling out, you got to find them or their pets, right? So that's what the paint pole adapter is for. There might come a time where you want to do a vertical drop. This basically screws into the back of the camera, and this allows you to hook up two ropes to the camera. One to sort of hold the camera in place, and the second to keep the camera from spinning around. It also allows you to get the camera nicely into position, or if it gets caught up in something as you're releasing, you can shift the camera back and forth. Also, you always want redundancy because this is by far the most expensive thing in the kit, and you don't want to lose that and go back to the chief and say, yeah, I kind of dropped it down a hole and I can't get it back. So 2 ropes each time. We actually do include a couple of little inexpensive carabiners for that. There's not a lot of support. This will not support a person's weight, so don't use it that way, but we do include a couple of carabiners in there for you. Now, interestingly enough, with Joe, what he wanted us to be able to do is to be able to use the front of the camera. Oftentimes, you'll locate a victim who is actually okay. They're just trapped inside. They just can't get out. So, but they're now getting hungry. They're now getting thirsty. They're covered in dust. So what you can actually do is we've got this little adapter here, which goes into bigger adapter. So one's got a hook on it. The other one's got like a circle on it here, right? So this screws into the front of the camera. And this allows us to essentially bring things to people. So you can then now strap or tape onto the front of this a handy wipes, water bottle, a sandwich. You just basically ask them to put their hand up, shoot for the hand, and they can grab the pouch. Joe's even created a pouch so you could, with one hand, you could squeeze it. And it's like a plastic see-through pouch, and you pop the ends come off, and then all of these things pop out of it for the victim inside that space. So that's pretty cool. So that's something that's only in the MRK kit, is these pieces that go on the front. If you ever want any of these things for the other kits that we make, of course, we have them available. They're all basically, the cameras are all identical. So we've got that there for you. So that's kind of interesting. And then you always put the rubber stopper back on. And the camera's kind of designed, if you drop it, it always lands on its head, kind of thing. We do include a speaker mic or headphone, like with a microphone in it, so you can plug into your ears and then plug into the tablet, and you can be able to communicate with the victim. This works really quite well, except that I kind of recommend that you actually use the tablet's Bluetooth. So we use the wireless, the 2.4 gigahertz wireless, to communicate with the camera. This leaves open the Bluetooth that you can use to use wireless buds or headsets that are Bluetooth. And then you can also activate noise cancellation and things of that, give you a much better, clearer sound into the void space that you're in. Speaking of the tablet, this is the Samsung Active Pro 4. It's a remarkably excellent tablet. It comes with a pen on it. So if you're in a wet condition, you can use the pen to actually control the software. You can use the pen if you're wearing gloves, and the gloves don't have the haptic touch, which you can get. That basically allows you to monitor the screen. So gloves that work with your phone will work on the tablet as well. The tablet can be popped apart and you can replace the battery. You can add additional memory with a micro SD card. You can even put a SIM card into it to get the tablet onto a data plan. Not as necessary nowadays with the fact that the camera broadcasts up to 5 devices. One of those devices could be your phone, which obviously has a data plan already in it. So if you wanted to get some images from the space and back to HQ, you can use your phone to do that now instead of having to use the tablet that comes with the kit. All right, so I'm just looking down here at the list of all the goodies down here, and I think I've covered absolutely everything. With the hardwire, the MRK LR, you have the ability to use optional 100-foot cable or even a 300-foot cable with the MRK LR. That's for long drops or tunnels or any of that kind of nature. You never know, because wireless, again, is 60 feet line of sight between camera and tablet. If you need longer than that, that's where the cables come in. The 100-foot is by far our most popular option. If you get the 300-foot, we even have a cable bag here made for us by PMI. Excellent. You just pull the cable out of the bottom that goes to the camera or to the tablet, and then you pull from the top that goes to the camera, and you can pull it in, and then you can reel it back in just like you would a rope bag. So that's kind of handy from us. So that's the Medic Rescue Kit LR. Like I say, it's one of my favorite kits. It happens to be the least expensive kit, but it's not by no means the less impressive kit. So all the kits have the same camera, the same software, the same tablet. It's just the accessories around them that make them different and a different costing based on that. All right, so thank you for watching this video. We appreciate it. If you have great stories about using the camera, I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions about your particular camera, or you want to buy one and you have some questions, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for your time. We appreciate you. Take care.